Good evening, everyone. It's not the circumstances, it's how you respond. Life, as we all know, is full of challenges, uncertainties, and obstacles. Sometimes these challenges come in waves, crashing into our lives when we least expect them. They can take the form of personal struggles, professional setbacks, or unexpected changes. It's easy in those moments to feel like everything is out of our control, like the world is conspiring against us, or like there's no way out. But here's the powerful truth: it's not the circumstances that define us, it's how we choose to respond to them. We are not always in control of the events that happen to us. We cannot control the economy, the actions of others, or even the choices of people around us. Life is unpredictable, and some circumstances may seem overwhelmingly unfair. But what we can control, what we always have the power to control, is our response. This is where our true power lies. When life throws something difficult at us, our instinct may be to react, to panic, to get frustrated or angry, to ask, why is this happening to me? But the real question we should be asking is, how do I choose to react? How can I take this moment and use it to grow? You see, our responses are what shape our outcomes. The way we choose to handle adversity determines whether we remain stuck or whether we rise above it. There is always a choice. You may not be able to control the storm, but you can control how you weather it. The way you respond to a challenge can either break you or build you. It can either hold you back or push you forward. It can make you bitter or make you better. And this choice, the choice of how to respond, is yours alone. It's easy to fall into the trap of blaming external circumstances for our difficulties. It's natural to want to find a scapegoat, someone or something to blame for our struggles. But blaming the outside world for what happens to us only disempowers us. It takes away our ability to change, to grow, and to move forward. When we blame others or our circumstances, we are giving up our power to create change. We are telling ourselves that our success or happiness depends on something beyond our control. But when we take full responsibility for our reactions, we regain control. When we choose how to respond, we take ownership of our journey. We recognize that while we can't always control what happens, we have total control over how we process, react to, and learn from those situations. In the face of hardship, we can choose resilience over resignation, hope over despair, and action over inaction. Think about the people you admire most. They are not immune to difficulties. They don't live charmed lives without obstacles. In fact, many of them have faced immense challenges, loss, failure, rejection, or adversity of all kinds. But what sets them apart is their response. They chose to rise, not to remain defeated. They chose to learn from their experiences, to grow stronger in the face of adversity, and to keep moving forward with purpose. It was never the circumstances that made them great, it was their response to those circumstances that allowed them to shine. Life is not about avoiding the storms. It's about learning how to dance in the rain. It's about choosing to respond with grace, strength, and clarity, even when things aren't going your way. When you take responsibility for how you respond to situations, you begin to see opportunities instead of obstacles. You start to realize that every setback is a chance to grow. Every failure is a lesson in resilience. And every difficulty is a stepping stone to greater things. The people who succeed, who thrive, who live meaningful, fulfilling lives are not those who have avoided challenges, but those who have faced them head on. They have learned that it's not the circumstances that matter, it's the response that truly counts. And in this response lies the power to change your life. You are not defined by what happens to you, you are defined by how you choose to respond to what happens. So the next time life presents a challenge, remember this: you are not helpless. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are powerful, and you have the ability to choose how you respond. Will you let the circumstances define you, or will you define your response? Your life is in your hands, and it's your response that will shape the path ahead. Clarity comes with action. It's something we often forget, especially in times of uncertainty or when we are faced with tough decisions. We think we need to have everything figured out before we move forward, but the truth is, clarity doesn't come before you take action, it comes through it. So many of us spend time searching for the perfect answer, waiting for the ideal moment, hoping that all the pieces will fall into place before we make a move. But here's the powerful reality: you cannot wait for clarity to appear. First, you have to create it by taking the first step. When we sit back and overthink, when we dwell on the what-ifs or the possible mistakes, we remain stuck in indecision. We find ourselves paralyzed by fear of making the wrong choice or not knowing what's ahead. But action is the antidote to this uncertainty. It's through moving forward, even when we don't have all the answers, that we begin to understand what works and what doesn't. Taking that first step, even if it feels uncertain, creates momentum that leads to clarity. Think about any time in your life when you were unsure about something, whether it was making a big decision, starting a new project, or pursuing a goal. Chances are, the more you waited for all the facts, the more confused and uncertain you became. But once you took the plunge, once you decided to act despite the uncertainty, things began to clear up. You started to see the road ahead more clearly, not because you had all the answers, but because you began moving forward. Clarity is not something that appears before action, it's something that reveals itself as you act. This is why clarity doesn't come from waiting. It comes from engaging with life, from taking risks, from making decisions, and from learning as you go. It's easy to think that we need to wait for the perfect moment, that we need to be sure of everything before we make a move. But life doesn't work that way. Things will rarely be perfect. There will always be unknowns, and there will always be things you can't control. The key is not waiting for perfection, but choosing to act in spite of imperfection. The more you act, the more you learn. The more you learn, the more you grow. And the more you grow, the more clarity you gain. This is the process. Each action you take, no matter how small or imperfect, moves you closer to understanding what works, what doesn't, and what you truly want. It's in the doing that the picture begins to come together. In the face of uncertainty, it can feel scary to take that first step. But remember, this action brings you closer to your purpose. It's through the trial and error, the successes and the failures, that we gain insights into our path. Each mistake becomes a valuable lesson. Each success a confirmation that we're on the right track. You will never have perfect clarity without action, but action will provide the feedback and insights you need to shape your path. You begin to see things more clearly as you move forward, not before. Clarity comes with action because action brings you into alignment with your deeper purpose. It's only by diving into life, engaging with it, and taking risks that you find your true direction. Waiting for everything to make sense first can keep you stuck in the planning stage, never moving beyond the point of inaction. But when you act, when you take the first step, even without the full picture, you create the space for clarity to emerge. Taking action also builds confidence. Every decision, no matter the outcome, builds a sense of trust in yourself. The more you act, the more you realize that you are capable of navigating through challenges. You don't need every single answer before you begin. What you need is the courage to take the first step and the faith that clarity will come as a result of your actions. You will find the answers along the way. When you choose to act, you choose to be a participant in your own life. You stop waiting for circumstances to change and begin shaping your reality. You trust that with every action you take, you are moving closer to understanding what works, what doesn't, and where you need to go next. You stop waiting for the fog to lift before you start walking, you begin walking, and the fog lifts as you move forward. Clarity comes through action, and with each step, the path becomes clearer. So next time you feel stuck, unsure, or uncertain about what to do, remember, you don't need to know everything right now. What you need is to start. Take the first step. Do something. Anything. It's in the doing that clarity will begin to emerge. It's in the action that you will discover the answers. The clarity you seek is waiting for you, but it can only be found when you move forward, when you embrace the unknown, and when you trust that the journey will reveal itself as you continue to act out. Accountability is power. It's a simple but profound concept, one that holds the key to unlocking our true potential. In today's world, it's easy to look for someone or something else to blame when things don't go as planned. We've all done it, pointed fingers at others, the circumstances, or even the system, believing that if everything were different, we'd be different too. But the reality is, accountability is the secret ingredient to personal and professional growth. When we choose to take full responsibility for our actions, our choices, and the outcomes of our lives, we unlock a power that no one and nothing can take away from us. When you are accountable, you acknowledge that you have the power to shape your own life. Accountability is a declaration of ownership over your own destiny. It's saying, I am responsible for the choices I make and for the direction my life is heading. The moment you embrace accountability, you stop being a passive participant in your own story. Instead, you become the author. You no longer wait for things to happen to you. Instead, you begin actively creating your own path. Often, we get stuck in a cycle of self-pity or frustration, believing that the reason we aren't where we want to be is because of external forces. But when we place blame outside ourselves, we give away our power. We allow those circumstances to define us. By embracing accountability, we take our power back. We stop giving up our agency to others. We accept the fact that while we can't always control what happens to us, we have absolute control over how we respond, how we act, and how we move forward. Accountability requires us to be honest with ourselves. It requires us to take a hard look in the mirror and acknowledge where we have fallen short, where we've made mistakes, and where we need to improve. It's not about shame or guilt, it's about taking responsibility so we can grow, learn, and improve. Accountability forces us to confront the truth. And it's in confronting the truth that we find the room to grow. When we own up to our actions, we acknowledge that we have the capacity to change. Without accountability, we remain stuck, unable to move forward or make the necessary adjustments in our lives. Often we get stuck in a cycle of self-pity or frustration, believing that the reason we aren't where we want to be is because of external forces. But when we place blame outside ourselves, we give away our power. We allow those circumstances to define us. By embracing accountability, we take our power back. We stop giving up our agency to others. We accept the fact that while we can't always control what happens to us, we have absolute control over how we respond, how we act, and how we move forward. Accountability requires us to be honest with ourselves. It requires us to take a hard look in the mirror and acknowledge where we have fallen short, where we've made mistakes, and where we need to improve. It's not about shame or guilt, it's about taking responsibility so we can grow, learn, and improve. Accountability forces us to confront the truth. And it's in confronting the truth that we find the room to grow. When we own up to our actions, we acknowledge that we have the capacity to change. Without accountability, we remain stuck, unable to move forward or make the necessary adjustments in our lives. This is why accountability is so powerful. It is not a burden, but a tool for growth. When we take responsibility for our actions, we stop making excuses and start taking action. We begin to see every challenge as an opportunity to learn, every failure as a lesson to build upon. With accountability, failure becomes less about defeat and more about gaining wisdom for the next time. It is an invitation to refine, to rethink, and to improve. When you are accountable, you set a standard for yourself. You become someone who does what they say they will do. This builds trust not just with others, but with yourself. Trust is the foundation of success, both personally and professionally. When you consistently hold yourself accountable, others begin to trust you as well. They know that you are someone who takes responsibility, who follows through, and who learns from their experiences. This trust becomes the bedrock upon which you can build strong, supportive relationships and a reputation of integrity. Accountability also fosters resilience. When you're accountable, you stop waiting for things to go perfectly or for external factors to line up. Instead, you learn to take control of your own journey. You keep moving forward, regardless of setbacks, because you know that the power to overcome challenges lies within you. Accountability builds the mental strength to keep going even when things aren't going as planned. It teaches you that you don't have to wait for perfect conditions to take action. You create those conditions with your decisions. Moreover, accountability empowers you to make better decisions. When you hold yourself accountable, you become more conscious of the choices you make, because you understand that your actions will have consequences. You become more thoughtful about how you use your time, how you treat others, and how you invest in your future. Accountability pushes you to make decisions that align with your values, your goals, and your long-term vision. You begin to make choices that reflect the person you want to become, not just the person you are today. Accountability also opens up the space for progress. When we don't take responsibility, we remain stagnant, making the same mistakes, repeating the same patterns, and never evolving. But when we choose to be accountable, we open the door to growth and improvement. Accountability is what keeps you moving forward, always striving to be better, to do better, and to achieve more. In a world where external forces often try to dictate how we live, accountability is a powerful act of self-determination. It's about saying, I may not control everything around me, but I have control over how I respond. I have control over my actions, my mindset, and my future. It gives you the courage to keep going, even when the road ahead seems unclear. It's the key to unlocking your potential and becoming the person you're meant to be. In the end, accountability is the foundation of success, growth, and self-mastery. It empowers us to take control of our lives, to learn from our mistakes, and to keep moving forward no matter what. Accountability is not something to fear, it is something to embrace. It's the tool that allows us to unlock our greatest potential and take full ownership of the life we are creating. Growth comes from discomfort. It's a truth that many of us resist because discomfort is by nature something we avoid. We seek comfort, stability, and security, and we try to build our lives around these ideals. But the reality is, comfort is often the enemy of growth. When we remain in familiar and easy circumstances, we miss the opportunity to evolve into the best versions of ourselves. It's only when we step into discomfort, when we face challenges, risks, and uncertainties that we truly begin to grow. Think about the times in your life when you experienced real growth. Was it during the moments when everything was easy and predictable? Or was it during the times when you were pushed beyond your limits, when you were forced to adapt, to overcome, or to face something uncomfortable? The truth is, growth doesn't happen in the comfort zone. It happens when you step out of it. Growth comes from confronting challenges, making tough decisions, and navigating through situations that stretch you in ways you didn't think possible. The discomfort we experience is often the result of doing something new, something unfamiliar, or something that challenges our current capabilities. It's in these moments of discomfort that we are forced to dig deeper, to tap into reserves of strength, resilience, and creativity that we didn't know we had. Discomfort reveals our true potential. It forces us to question what we're capable of and pushes us to exceed what we thought were our limits. Imagine a seed being planted in the ground. To grow into a tree, that seed has to break through the hard, compact soil. The process of breaking through the earth is uncomfortable. It's hard, it's slow, and it takes time. But without that discomfort, without that pressure, the seed would remain dormant, never reaching its full potential. Just as the seed must break through the soil to grow into something greater, we too must face discomfort to grow into the person we are meant to be. In life, we encounter discomfort in many forms. It could be the discomfort of failure, the discomfort of rejection, the discomfort of not knowing what's next, or the discomfort of trying something new. It's natural to want to avoid these feelings, but in avoiding discomfort, we avoid the very things that allow us to evolve. The only way to grow is to embrace the discomfort that comes with change and challenge. Without discomfort, we remain stagnant. We never discover what we're truly capable of because we're too busy clinging to what feels safe and familiar. Growth through discomfort also teaches us resilience. Life isn't always going to be easy, and the path to success is rarely linear. There will be setbacks, there will be failures, and there will be moments of uncertainty. But it is how we respond to these challenges that determines our ability to grow. Discomfort pushes us to keep going even when things don't go as planned. It builds mental toughness, persistence, and the belief that we can overcome anything if we keep moving forward. The discomfort we feel also helps us develop new skills and perspectives. When we're pushed out of our comfort zones, we are forced to learn new things, adopt new strategies, and think in ways we never have before. It's through these experiences that we build new competencies and capabilities that we can apply in the future. Discomfort, in essence, is the greatest teacher we can have. It forces us to grow, to adapt, and to evolve in ways that comfort simply cannot. When we are uncomfortable, we are more likely to question ourselves and reflect on our actions. This self-reflection is a powerful tool for growth. It helps us understand where we are, where we've been, and where we need to go. It forces us to confront our weaknesses and limitations, and in doing so, we gain a clearer understanding of who we are and what we need to work on. Discomfort is a mirror, showing us where we need to improve and where we can do better. Sometimes growth comes in the form of emotional discomfort. The process of healing, for example, is rarely comfortable. It requires us to face past traumas, fears, and insecurities. But it is only through this emotional discomfort that we can release the burdens of the past and make space for growth. Emotional growth, like any other type of growth, requires us to move through the discomfort of facing our own vulnerability and pain. The key to embracing discomfort is changing how we view it. Instead of seeing discomfort as a sign of failure or a reason to quit, we need to see it as an opportunity. Discomfort is a signal that we are on the verge of transformation. It's a sign that we are pushing beyond our limits and stepping into new territory. When we learn to embrace discomfort as a necessary part of the growth process, we stop resisting it and start working with it. It becomes a friend, not an enemy. It's also important to recognize that growth doesn't always feel good in the moment. Growth often comes with discomfort, frustration, and even pain. But just like a muscle that gets stronger through the stress of exercise, we too get stronger through the challenges we face. It's through discomfort that we build the mental, emotional, and physical strength necessary to handle the bigger challenges that lie ahead. Ultimately, growth and discomfort are inseparable. You cannot grow without stepping into discomfort. Every new level of success, every new breakthrough, and every personal development moment requires you to move through some form of discomfort. It's a natural part of the process, and it's something we must learn to embrace if we want to live a life of continuous growth. So the next time you face discomfort, remember that it is not something to avoid, it is something to embrace, because it is the very thing that will propel you toward your next level of greatness. Winners create their own opportunities. It's easy to sit back and wait for the perfect moment or the ideal opportunity to come knocking at your door. But the truth is, opportunities rarely come without effort. Those who achieve success are not the ones who wait for the world to hand them what they want. They are the ones who create their own path, who forge their own opportunities, and who make things happen on their own terms. The idea that opportunity will simply appear is a myth. Opportunities do not wait for us to be ready or for the stars to align perfectly. Instead, winners recognize that opportunities are made, not found. They understand that success is not a passive process. It requires action, vision, and above all, the willingness to create and seize the opportunities that align with their goals and desires. The first step to creating your own opportunities is recognizing that they don't always come from external sources. The world doesn't owe you anything, and no one is coming to hand you your dreams. Winners understand this deeply. They know that waiting for someone else to create the chance for success is futile. Instead, they take charge of their own destiny by actively seeking out ways to create the opportunities they need. Whether it's starting a new venture, connecting with the right people, or taking risks that others might shy away from, winners are always looking for ways to carve their own space in the world. Creating your own opportunities often involves stepping outside your comfort zone. It means being willing to take risks, to fail, and to try again. It means seeing possibility where others see obstacles. Many people are content with the status quo, waiting for things to improve or for the perfect conditions to appear. But the winners, the ones who truly achieve greatness, are those who refuse to wait. They take action even when the path ahead is unclear, and they continue moving forward regardless of the uncertainty that comes with it. To create opportunities, winners also understand the importance of preparation. It's not enough to just hope for something to come your way. You need to prepare yourself for when that opportunity finally appears. This preparation could be in the form of developing new skills, expanding your knowledge, or building a network of people who can support your journey. The more prepared you are, the more likely it is that you will recognize and be ready to take full advantage of the opportunities that come your way. Opportunities are often hidden in the form of challenges. Winners don't shy away from difficult situations or uncomfortable moments, they seek them out. Challenges are opportunities in disguise, and those who succeed are the ones who know how to turn these challenges into stepping stones toward their goals. When something seems impossible, winners see a chance to push through and prove themselves. They see the obstacles as a way to grow, to innovate, and to build something new. The key is not avoiding challenges, but embracing them and turning them into opportunities to advance. Another way winners create opportunities is by building strong relationships. Success rarely happens in isolation, and winners understand the value of networking, collaboration, and mutual support. Opportunities often come through the people you know and the relationships you nurture. By surrounding themselves with like-minded, driven individuals, winners open the door to new opportunities that they might not have discovered alone. They understand that the right connection, partnership, or mentorship can be the catalyst for new doors to open. Moreover, winners are relentless in their pursuit of their goals. They are not afraid of setbacks or failures because they see them as part of the journey. Each failure is not an endpoint, but a lesson that guides them closer to the next opportunity. They do not let discouragement hold them back. Instead, they use every setback as fuel to push harder, to refine their strategy, and to find new ways to succeed. Winners create their own opportunities because they are determined to succeed, no matter how many obstacles they encounter along the way. A key characteristic of those who create opportunities is their mindset. Winners have an abundance mindset. They believe that there are enough opportunities in the world for everyone, and that there is always room for more success, more growth, and more achievements. This mindset drives them to be proactive, to take initiative, and to look for ways to add value in every situation. They believe in their ability to create change, and they are not afraid to take bold steps to bring about that change. Winners also understand the power of innovation. They don't simply settle for the way things have always been done. They look for new and better ways to approach problems, find solutions, and bring ideas to life. In doing so, they create opportunities not just for themselves, but for others as well. Innovation opens doors to new markets, new products, and new services that didn't exist before. By thinking outside the box, winners create a ripple effect that spreads out and brings fresh opportunities to everyone involved. Ultimately, creating your own opportunities requires a combination of vision, action, and perseverance. It's about seeing the world as full of potential rather than limitations. When you take ownership of your future and commit to creating opportunities, rather than waiting for them to come to you, you unlock the power to shape your own success. Winners know that the best opportunities don't come by chance, they come through intentional effort and the willingness to create something extraordinary. By thinking differently, acting boldly, and refusing to wait for permission, they carve out a path of success that others only dream of. In conclusion, the path to success is not a passive one. Winners understand that they are the architects of their own future. They don't wait for the perfect opportunity to present itself. Instead, they create those opportunities through action, determination, and a mindset that sees challenges as chances for growth. By stepping outside their comfort zones, embracing discomfort, taking responsibility for their actions, and continuously seeking improvement, winners are able to forge their own path to success. They recognize that opportunities aren't just given, they are made, nurtured, and seized. The key is not waiting for the world to hand you success, but actively creating it every day. Winners take control of their journey, knowing that with effort, resilience, and a vision for the future, they have the power to shape their own opportunities and define their own success.